Hey folks, so a little bit of an update. As you can see, I'm not on a boat and there's no sign of water anywhere around me. In fact, you might be able to even hear the traffic of cars behind me. And that's because I received an email today indicating that the boat to Flowerpot Island was canceled due to high winds. Obviously, if it was a situation where I was already on the island and camping out happily, I wouldn't necessarily mind a further delay by a day, but trying to get there in the first place is a little bit different. So I have rebooked my departure to the island till tomorrow. I'm waiting on a call back from the Fathom 5 office regarding my camping reservation. Hopefully I can kind of like rebook things so that it's shifted by a day so that I can still get 3 nights on the island, but we'll see. I picked up some lunch and I thought I would check out a few sites in and around Owen Sound on my way up to a campground towards Tobermory. If you've watched my Bruce Trail videos, then this site might look familiar. It is the watchtower right in Owen Sound, and it's actually right on the Bruce Trail as well. And unlike the last time I was here, this gate is actually open. So we'll take a look to see. That is pretty cool. And away we go. A little cramped in here, but at least I don't have my backpack on me. Unfortunately, lots of graffiti. That's cool. So there's the bay and the lake, and nothing but green. The Bruce Trail kind of zigzags and makes its way to the KOA campground for Owen Sound, eastward. And of course, it'll actually travel through the bottom of the bay, through the forested area. There's some really nice rock formations down there, and starts creeping up the west side of Owen Sound and up towards Wyerton. Get a shot below. It's actually kind of cool down there as well. I'll take you down there next. So just to give you a little bit of a reference, the ridge line that you see here is the trail coming from the tower, and the Bruce Trail continues straight ahead, but I'm going to use the switchback here and check out the base and what's below. There's not really a lot down here, from if my memory serves. I don't think I went all the way down to the bottom here, so let's see what we can see, shall we? And that just goes to the road, so I'm just gonna head back and dive further into the greenery. The trail actually goes right by or through the Harrison Park, which is another location that you can camp at if you're attempting a through hike of the Bruce Trail. Lots of inns and hotels and motels to stay at in the Owen Sound area. KOA campground, of course. Not sure how well you guys can see this. I'm trying to get a little closer, but not a few seconds after I stopped recording, I came across this. And it's an old line for scooping dirt or mining which is really cool. Not much left of it, of the line itself. And somebody's shoe. Hopefully there's not a body attached to it. And of course there's really nothing else around. The only part of the machine left behind, or maybe it was dumped. Alright, I'll have to check this out a little bit more. A little bit of a better look at the gear. It helps turn the conveyor. Not sure how far I can get in here. Very, very cool. I'm only, maybe 300 meters, if that, from the tower, and just wanted to show you this. And again, for anyone that's through hiking, so some really cool rock formations on my left, and if the microphone is picking it up, you might be able to hear the water. Not going to see it until right about here. So you see like a remnants of an old pipe, and then some form of cylinder, and then it carries on down the ravine. So good spot to refill with water. Obviously make sure you filter, but nice little tidbit to come across on. That's adorable. Continues on. So I just gotta, perfect timing. Just got to show you guys a little bit of the trail here and the rock formations. So there was a section of the trail that went through a rock formation very similar to this, but just a lot cooler. But just to give you a little bit of a taste of what Owen Sound area has to offer in terms of really, really cool rock formations and crevices. Now, I'm not going to go down there, but there is a section of the trail that has something very similar, where you actually go down into the base of the crevice and you wrap around and you have like these, 3 or 4 story rock faces on either side of you, and it is so cool. So if you ever get a chance to come out to Owen Sound and you want to do a little bit of exploring, I'm on the Bruce Trail on the east coast of the bay, and just past, I'm roughly a kilometer southbound on the trail from the Centennial Tower, and I'm going to keep going here. But I think the section of the trail that I'm thinking of is east of the Centennial Trail. I'm trying to find my right footing here, as I'm a little out of practice, and again, I don't have my trekking poles today or with me at all. I was not anticipating doing much in the way of hiking these few days. So yeah, wonderful place to visit. Lots of accommodations, as I mentioned, lots of places to eat, lots and lots to explore. There's more trails as well, other than just the Bruce Trail. At the base of the bay of sorts, there's a park with community trails. But depending on when you make your way in here, obviously if you come during the week, much like today, today's Monday, I basically have this place to myself. I haven't seen another body at all. I found a boot or a shoe, but no bodies, no other people. So really cool. I've been playing around with some video recording settings on the Osmo Action. And for any techies that are watching this, this is all auto, full auto, with 60 frames per second, recording in 4K. And again, I'm not gonna go down there, but just to give you an idea. And I guess now would be a good time as any to remind you and ask you that if you like this content, hit that bell, subscribe, like the video, as there's more coming, certainly. Hope to see you out there, folks. More to come. You know, I was just thinking to myself, where it started out as a video about visiting Flowerpot Island is slowly but surely turning into a video about the Bruce Trail. C'est la vie. But got another section of trail here that I thought you guys might want to see, so away we go. So again, just not too far away from last video that I just finished recording. Kind of debating how far to go until I turn back and head back to the car. So I just came from over there and just kind of made a big loop around the rock face here. If you wonder why I'm slow going, I've not really hiked much at all, as I mentioned, so my legs are a little unsturdy, and it had also just rained last night and yesterday, so things are a little slick. Well, hey there folks, and have I got a bunch of updates for you all. Okay, so fast forward a little bit, or a recap I should say. So my boat to Flowerpot Island was canceled today due to high winds and high waves. So not a huge concern, because they offered either a refund or a reschedule, and I opted for the reschedule, not knowing about the arrangement between not necessarily the boat companies, but the island and Parks Canada and Cypress Lake. So if you've ever looked at a map, or if you're looking at doing this outing, there's actually two separate parks, but they're managed by Parks Canada. So there's Fathom 5 Marine Park, and there's also a land-based park that you can, hike through whenever else. There's a visitor center, and then there's the Bruce National Park. The office at the Bruce National Park handles the reservations for the two backcountry sites, which is Stormhaven and High Dump, as well as the Cypress Lake campground, as well as Flowerpot Island. So I tried a number of times this morning to get a hold of somebody at the Bruce National Park's office, to no avail. There was just no answer. I kept on leaving voice messages. So considering I was going to the island tomorrow, I popped into the office, only to find out that if I were to, or anyone for this matter, if your plans for the stay at Flowerpot Island get changed due to circumstances beyond your control, for example, the boat company cancels the trip, then you are entitled to a free stay of sorts at Cypress Lake Campground. They actually have a number of campsites that are set aside specifically for this reason. But unfortunately, because I couldn't get a hold of anybody at the campsite, or sorry, the office, I made reservations at the Tobermory Village Campground. And it's kind of cute. There's a little pond in the middle of the site, so quite a nice, spacious site that I'm about to show you very shortly. And I thought I was all set. And they were even able to shift my reservations from Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, with a pickup on Thursday, to camping on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, with a pickup on Friday. Well, I just got a voicemail from the cruise company saying that the captain has canceled all trips on Thursday and Friday due to high winds and waves. So if I pursue going to the island tomorrow, I will not be able to be picked up until Saturday. Darn. But I still have to confirm things with Parks Canada, and I have to take a look at my food as well to see if I have enough to stay on the island for that duration. Believe me, I can afford to shed a few pounds, but that's another story. And I'm just trying to evaluate everything. So I can't get a hold of anybody, whether it's at Blue Heron Cruises, where I actually have my boat tour or pickup and drop off scheduled through, and I also can't get a hold of anybody at Bruce Anchor Cruises, which is the other cruise company in Tobermory, just to verify if it's just a Blue Heron thing or if it's an all cruise thing in terms of general safety. So I am going to continue to try and get a hold of somebody, and I might make a last minute decision tomorrow after going into Tobermory and talking to a few people directly. So my drop-off cruise boat departure does not depart until 12, so I have the morning to figure out what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. So I am going to show you my campsite and the tent that I have set up, because this is only the second time that I've actually used it, and I think you guys might be interested in checking it out. Alright guys, so I'm just going to show you a little bit about the center of the campground. As you can see, there's a cute little pond with a couple of hammocks, some benches, and what I think is really cool about this particular campground is on the other side of the pond there are basically like glorified sheds. They call them glamping pods. There's kind of like a single or like a couple version, as well as a family that has 2 beds, so you can rent those. I believe there's a 2-night minimum, which is why I'm not renting them. Otherwise it'd be ideal for tonight. But very, very cute place. And just going to show you the rest of my site here. So I did get a fire going, even though my fire making skills were put to question today. Had multiple fire strikes or strikes of the fire strike, and it just would not ignite. So believe it or not, I actually had to use my backpacking stove to light the starter that they provided, and then created the fire that way. Anyways, so here's the tent. So this is Wilderness Excursions. It's a 2-person tent. It's out of Alberta, actually, and it's quite interesting as a tent. It's pretty roomy inside. I haven't completely set it up inside as of yet, because I'm trying to deal with the whole making arrangements for tomorrow, but quite roomy. I'm kind of debating if I could really even label it as a backpacking tent, just from a weight perspective. It's, if I remember correctly, it's about 3.5 to 4 pounds with everything. But I'll put in the specs in the comments below. What I do think is really interesting, and I've taken some pictures of this, is you don't really need these corner stakes. But everything is kind of tied down to the pole here, and you can see that there's like little grommets both in the ground sheet, which actually is included, as well as the tent and the rainfly. So all of those actually have little grommet holes that stick over the pole of the tent. So it's actually pretty cool. It does require stakes to, fan the sides out for ventilation, but it also has these little tabs up here to help with ventilation up inside. So it actually is pretty cool. 2 doors, 2 entrances, lots of ventilation actually. And I did use it in Wyerton when I started out my trek on the Bruce Trail back in October of last year. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I gotta change batteries here, folks, for the camera, so I will end there for now, and I'll keep you posted with what's going on with my lovely trip to Flowerpot Island, which hasn't happened. Talk to you soon.